for our arm bar. First, isolate the arm. Boom. We get in our good position. Boom. We keep our pressure. What's important for me to get this arm bar is control. One, remember, as I said, when I come up here with this, I'm pulling up, right? Yes? I pull this up. I want this elbow as far up on my body as I can. That's point one. Elbow center and far up as I can. Yes?
Yes.
Again, I probably would be here first. Come here and pull in. Knees pinched, right? Knees pinched. Point two, knees pinched. Point three, extend the arm out, right? Point four, I hip up. Keeping him flat, staying in this direction. I want this elbow on my hips or on my belly. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I need it on my hips and on my belly. I need that for arm bar. Brooklyn, are we paying attention? Swear.
A couple of things. You have to have your thumb up while you're doing it?
So wherever his thumb is where I have the attack. If his thumb is this way and I pull this way, look, I can get something, but it's not good. And if he gets the whole way here, look, I got nothing. So wherever the thumb is, that's the direction I need to push.
What if he doesn't have it out? What if he just has it like this?
Well, he will. What I mean by thumb, I mean is the thumb side.
Oh.
Technically speaking, it's this bone here I want up. The radial bone and the ulnar bone. This is the ulna. This is the radial. I want radius up, ulnus down.
Like right before you have it locked in, couldn't you like pull his elbow and just turn in?
That's what we're going to talk about. So again, the reason I pull up here, say I'm just in my side here. I pull up and I pin this to my chest because I got to keep the elbow, right? For arm bar, I got to keep the elbow. I switch my grip, I come back, I pinch my knees, I keep it tight, and I get my tap. Switch. So, first things first. To get an arm bar, what way does my arm have to be? Bent or straight?
Straight.
So first things I do to stop that, I bend my arm. I want my arm bent. Make sense?
Yeah.
Second thing, I want to keep it bent. So I grab. In no-gi, I take the arm being attacked, and I put it underneath, and I grab the arm of the other arm. Look. This is good. If I can get this hand under this leg, this is better. If I can get this hand and this hand under this leg, this is the best. So long as this arm is still on top of the arm being attacked. This is usually good enough. So, he has my arm attacked. First things first, no straight arm, right? Then I protect it, keep it bent. Boom. If I can, I get that top arm under his leg. Boom. Now remember that genie drill we just did? Well, he needs my elbow, right? So I want to get my elbow off of him, right? I want to get my elbow to the mat, right? So just like that genie drill, we're going to take our hips. I like to come out first, get a little space, and then I'm going to roll, and I'm going to pull this elbow to the mat. Boom. I didn't get to the mat, but I got him up. Look, like our genie rule. Leg that's here comes to the butt. I can pull. Sometimes I might not get that big of a roll, right? But I get enough space to watch. I can get my elbow to the mat. Look. Would you like? Get my elbow to the mat. That's first priority. Elbow out. Well, second priority. First priority, bend the arm and keep it bent. Second priority, get the elbow out. Once it's out, I'm safe. He can't armbar me. He can do other stuff, but he can't armbar me. And then I can take my hips, roll into him, push in, and look, this knee comes to his butt. Because if he still has my arm here, right? If I put this knee to the butt, I can use it to hold his hips there as I pull. And then look, I'm right into my pressure pass. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, first things first. He's attacking my arm. What do I do?
Pull it. Bend it.
Bend it.
Pull.
Then what do I do?
Pull. Get your other leg.
Keep it bent, right? So I grab my other arm and I bring my other arm over top. If I can, where do I want this hand?
Under his leg.
Under his leg. Boom. If I can't get it here, it's okay if I just squeeze tight. Maybe I grab the top of his leg, whatever. Maybe I just come here to my neck. But I want this tight so he can't bend. So as he pulls, it's reinforced. He has to pull through my arm. Now he has to pull through my leg, his leg, and my arm. It might hurt, but he's not going to armbar me. Step 2, what I want to do.
Roll.
Why am I rolling?
Wiggle.
Get my arm out. What part of my arm? Elbow. I want my
Put your
elbow to the mat if I can. Boom. This, I'm safe. Now I can start getting up, stuff like that. Often, you're not going to get that elbow out like that though. So you're going to have to do the roll when you do it. So I squeeze tight. This lets me push on this leg. My hips come away. Then they come in, and as they come in, I try to pull my elbow out. Boom. I didn't get it. So I bring this leg to his hips. Keep my pressure. Now look. Yank. I might not get it in one yank. Squeeze. I might have to keep pulling. But the moment I do, look, I'm in my pressure pass. And then look, I have my gift wrap. Yes?
Like when you're like this, still like when you're standing up, still like this. Don't hit triangle here.
No. So you're asking if you can triangle me. Now when I'm coming up. So as I'm coming up, right? You're asking if he can triangle me here.
Yes.
He can in a way, but look. As he comes in to get his triangle, look. Both arms are in.
Yeah, I mean like.
Now, if I get this arm out and he pushes it out, that's actually the next attack most people are going to do. As you try to get out of armbar, they're going to go to triangle. So if you get that elbow out, you have to be careful. If they start pushing it out, you have to be afraid of the triangle. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That's why if I get it out, boom, I want to be stacked so I can shoulder shuck and get my pressure back. Make sense? So without a partner, I'm here. Arm's being attacked. Bend my arm. Grab my arm, bend it over top so he can't bend the arm he's attacking. So he can't attack and make this arm straight. To arm bar, he needs this straight. So I bend and I keep it from unbending. If I can get under the leg, I can. Then I'm going to swing my hips over, try to pull my arm out. If I get it out, good. If I don't, I'm here. Knee to the hips. Pull, 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 pull. Pressure pass.
When we're doing the arm bar and we're doing the defendant, do we have to do the whole move or do we just do where we have to do it?
That's a good question. Right now, we're gonna start with just defending it, okay? But again, bend, lock, mat. This is okay, but I'm not up. So this is better. Okay?
Okay. Can you do a suitcase from here?
Suitcase?
I like my suitcase.
I can't remember suitcase. I can't remember what Coach Bobby calls suitcase. Do you remember suitcase?
I like my suitcase.
It's like
You lift the back.
Oh, that's, I mean, there's ways to get to that, but
I like my suitcase.
right now let's just worry about defending the armbar, okay? So first things first, they need the elbow and they need the arm straight. So we bend. We grab so they can't unbend. We want to pull the arm out. If we have to, just elbow to the mat. Once the elbow's to the mat, he can't armbar. But we're still in the bottom. So it's a lot nicer to here, hip in. As we hip in, we come up. Boom. Boom. Okay? Okay. Thoughts, comments, questions, concerns?
I go too. You too.
After I do. All right, Marcus. Show it one more time because, yes, you were away. Let's do it this way so he can see. Marcus, watch. So for armbar, my arm is straight, knees are together, elbows on him, he hips up. Boom. So I need to take those attacks away. I keep my arm bent. My arm is bent, he can't armbar. So I need to keep it bent. I grab my bicep in no gi, in gi I can grab my gi. I grab my bicep, I bring my other arm over top and under the leg if I can. And look, my palm is on his leg. Spin. See, Marcus? Right? Yes?
yes.
From here, I need to get my elbow out. I can do just this and be safe. And now we're in a scramble. Right? But what I find I like a lot better, especially if I can get this hand under here and I have more leverage. Because this lets me push as I spin. I'm going to bring my hips in just like that genie toss. I'm going to try and bring this elbow out. And I'm going to come up. Boom. Pressure. Knee to the butt. Pull. Once the elbow's out, look. Keep that pressure. If I keep this tight, on this side of the head, he can't triangle. And look. Push it back. Okay, Marcus? Any other questions? Sure. That's it. Again, I want to go first. All right, ready? Find a partner about your size. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So notice a couple things that made this drill a little harder. When we're starting here, we really should start with an underhook. Boom. This grip here. Be our hammer lock, whatever, right? Because if I'm starting here, I don't really have leverage to pull. He can wiggle out of this a lot easier, okay? Whereas if I have this arm here underneath, and I grab my own arm, like we defend, well, now I can control this. I can move it however I want to move it. I can even try and go Kimura. But I'll have my underhook. All right? If we start with our underhook, it makes this drill a lot easier. Because look, he reinforces. He comes under my leg. He swims up, yep. Boom. Need that hip. He pulls, and he passes. Staying heavy the whole time. Make sense?
Thank you.
Again, for good armbar, what this relies on is taking away the very things we need for a good armbar. So one of the reasons I have you guys sit first before we come back is because if I go right to my back and I'm rolling when I'm coming, if when I'm here, I've come up, right? If I go straight to my back when I come for this armbar, look, I'm giving him this pull, and now he can just yank this arm out. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Whereas if I control my own movement, and I sit first, he has a lot harder time taking me that way. Does that make sense? And then I can squeeze tight because I want this elbow up. Switch my grip. Now I can start to unbend it. And I come back. Now, he's probably going to take advantage of this, right? Right. So now he defends. Boom. Now he can roll. See, he rolls me in. Boom. Right? He starts to pull that leg out, arm out. Boom. And pass. If he lets up on that pressure, like Sawyer pointed out, if he lets up on this pressure, he's pulling that arm out, I'm right into my triangle. That's also why we work on our hip up drills. Because I need to be able to follow him up. He's not going to be down here. I'm going to be able to come up. Make sense?
Yeah.
So, what do I need for an armbar to work?
His arm to be straight.
His arm to be straight.
His arm to be long.
Thumb up. Thumb up.
Thumb up. Good. What else? Arm to be straight. Thumb up.
Legs pinched.
Legs pinched.
Thumb.
Huh?
Thumb.
Broken.
Thumbs up. We already said that.
I'm good this way. Elbow.
Where does the elbow have to be?
On the ground.
That's the escape. If the escape is to put the elbow on the ground, where do we want the elbow for the armbar?
Bent.
On us. As high on us as possible. Okay? As long as at least on my hips, I get the armbar. Because all the armbar is what's called a hyperextension. We're bending the elbow more than it's supposed to bend. So we make it more than straight. So here's our 180. We pull it like 270. So we need the elbow, we need the arm straight, thumb up, legs pinched. Right? So to defend it, what do we need to do?
We need to grab the arm and then
Ooh, first things first, what do we do?
pull it. Pull it.
We want it bent, right? Then can we let it get unbent? So we want to keep it bent, right?
Yeah.
So we got to grab something, right? In gi, I can grab my lapel. Can I grab my shirt in no gi?
No.
So I got to grab myself, right?
Yeah.
So I grab my bicep. Now I bring this arm. Do I bring this arm this way, underneath my arm that's being attacked, or over my arm being attacked?
Over.
Over. This way he has to pull my arm through my arm to make it straight, right? And again, we said he needs my elbow, right? So what I need to do with my elbow? You said it.
Turn it.
get it to the mat, right? Just get my elbow off him. Sometimes I can do that just by pulling to the mat. Sometimes, which is what I prefer, especially if I can get this top hand, the non-attack hand, under his leg, I like to hit and roll him. Boom. Get that knee up into his butt. Where I can keep his hips where they are, pull my elbow off his hips, and pass. Does that make sense? So knowing what's needed for the attack helps us know what we need to stop them from having for the defense. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Question?
If you did it and would you grab your collar?
Yes, I would grab my own collar. I grab my own collar with the attack hand. So if he's trying to armbar here, I grab my own collar, but then I still come over top. And I still try to grab his leg or try to grab my other arm. Okay? I want it as much stuff between that arm going straight as I can. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now another reason, now you don't have to worry about this yet, but I'd like you guys to know of stuff that's there. So I'm not going to teach you it, but I'm going to show you why I like you to come up, okay? So if I have my armbar here, right, and he has his defense, right? Right? He wants to get this elbow out, right?
Right.
So watch what happens. I'm going to give him a little space. I'm going to loosen my legs. He gets that elbow out. This comes down.
The ground.
Normally they come up, but I got a shoulder lock. Brato plata. You don't have to worry about that yet. But as you guys get older, I want you to be mindful that just getting this elbow to the mat sometimes is a trap. Because now I have this arm to attack. That's why I greatly like when you guys roll them up. Boom. Okay? Because look, from here, I can't just straight attack. Now, if he keeps that arm there, I can. So we got to be smart. But you're safer by rolling them up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Same thing like how me and Coach Travis talked about how when we take our shots, how we have to keep our good stack posture, right? Our triple stack, so that we can't get choked. Even though they can't legally choke you guys yet, standing like that, we don't want you to have the habit so that you have to learn something new. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Questions?
Yeah. Do it.
Okay. Get a drink, get a mouth guard.